Well, even as the crucial sixth phase of polling is going on in the state of Uttar Pradesh, the biggest political faces are descending in Varanasi. It's a culmination of sorts to the high-pitched campaigning. It's a battle of roadshows between the BJP, the Samajwadi Party, the Congress and the BSP in Uttar Pradesh's temple town, Varanasi. I'm going to go first straight across to consulting editor India Today, Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, a high-octane campaign that we're getting to see in Varanasi. I wanted to ask you, why does Varanasi become so important at this stage? Why are we seeing this, game of political one-upmanship between all of these political parties?
Three reasons I would ascribe to what we are seeing in Varanasi at the moment. Remember, this is the Prime Minister's constituency. It's his Lok Sabha constituency. This is a prestige battle for Prime Minister Mr. Modi. He would like to win as many seats in Varanasi district, many of which are tough because the Congress has some tough candidates, particularly in the city seats as well as in the outer areas of Varanasi. So important for the Prime Minister to show that he is still numero uno when it comes to Varanasi. Number two, there is a campaign, there is an election going on, voting going on, even as this battle of road shows is taking place in Varanasi. You've got 49 constituencies in Uttar Pradesh, some of which are just about 20 kilometers away from Varanasi, from outer Varanasi in Azamgarh district. So there is an attempt, whether both sides like it or not, to influence the voters in these constituencies, which is why you saw this in Lok Sabha. Hold your road shows on days when another part of the state is voting to try and influence those neighboring areas. How successful that is another matter. And number three, somewhere, I think we are in this final stretch in Uttar Pradesh where the momentum factor is critical. Most opinion polls before the election suggested that you could have a hung assembly in Uttar Pradesh. The sense one is getting is that particularly the BJP believes it has built a certain advantage. It now needs to capture it, a kind of dil mange more attitude of the kind we saw from the Prime Minister in the Lok Sabha polls. The attempt to try and really capture this last phase and the second last phase, that is Varanasi on the 8th and the one that's going today. On the other hand, I think Akhilesh and Rahul Gandhi have also realized they can't leave the space completely vacant and allow the Prime Minister to virtually take over all the media eyeballs on a big election day like today. And then you have Mayawati, and I think Mayawati remains, in a sense, Avantika, the X factor in this election. You won't see her on road shows today. She's doing a rally, but it is Mayawati who, in a sense, is the one person who may offer a challenge to the BJP's juggernaut in eastern UP. This is areas with large Dalit and Muslim.
Why is she so quiet? Why is, she doing, why suddenly we are seeing the BSP or Mayawati, Rajdeep, if I may just intervene, doing things in a very old-style, conventional way, like we used to see it earlier? I mean, in a space like this, you have the clash of the titans, you have the Prime Minister himself aggressively campaigning. We are not seeing the same from BSP.
Look, the nature of Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi is at his best in what you're seeing now. Right from the time when he organized LK Advani's Rath Yatra, when he was in Gujarat as the Prabhari effectively of that state in the early 90s to becoming a General Secretary. This is Mr. Modi at his best, an event manager during elections, 24/7 campaigner. He loves this. Akhilesh Yadav has imbibed some of those qualities and has almost pushed Rahul Gandhi along with him on these road shows because he believes that's the way to reach out to people. Mayawati, on the other hand, has always preferred to play a politics where she remains distant from this media choreography. She believes that her voter is not going to vote for Mayawati on the basis of roadshow. Narendra Modi's politics is, let's create the mahal, let's create the environment that will galvanize our cadres and push voters to the polling booths. Akhilesh Yadav has tried to imitate some of that. If you see this campaign, it's almost presidential style in the way Mr. Modi has run it. No UP chief ministerial candidate for the BJP, all focus on Mr. Modi in a sense. Akhilesh Yadav also largely has run it in a presidential style. Even his father has not campaigned in this election. On the other hand, Mayawati has chosen to play the old style social engineering. Okay. But Mr. Modi offers Hindutva. Okay. He's trying to offer hope through Vikas. And he's offering a bit of social engineering by playing the most backward caste role. So this is Mr. Modi at his best, some would say, in his home terrain, enjoying, relishing the idea. I think he's not comfortable in the Prime Minister's office as much as he is when he's on the street. This is the 24/7 campaigner. He loves this, he relishes it, and you'll see this in election after election. He's Prime Minister of India, but deep down inside, he's still the BJP leader.
No,
who
and the
wants
party
votes.
workers are relishing it as well.
Oh, yes.
But you know, Javed, undoubtedly, we are seeing the temple town emerging as the political epicenter. But my question is, why should there be a need for you know, this sort of media choreography? It is the Prime Minister's constituency. Why should there be a need to galvanize the cadre on such a large, lavish scale? Why should the Prime Minister, you know, pull all stops to woo the electorate in Varanasi?
Avantika, I'll pose a counter question. Why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't Akhilesh? Why shouldn't Rahul Gandhi? This is election 2017. This is a different era. You have the advantage of television. It transmits pictures. Manipur is voting. The other parts of Uttar Pradesh are voting today. 2 days from now, the rest will vote. This is an image. This is a show meant not just for voters in Varanasi, but even in Gazipur, even in Bhadoi and in Varanasi, voters who will vote later. So therefore, all of them have a right.
No, so
and
Javed,
just, you know, Rajdeep
are you implying,
Javed,
are you implying that the momentum where you are standing right now is in favor of the UP ke ladke, the two young politicians, Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi?
Well, where I'm standing is where this yatra will commence. And obviously the momentum here is in their favor because there are thousands upon thousands of people. I'm sure where Narendra Modi is holding his road show, the momentum must be with him. So who the momentum is will finally be known only on March 11th. But for now, just look at the scenes behind me. I have lawyers, I have nurses. You see doctors here. आप बार एसोसिएशन के प्रेसिडेंट हैं, आपने बहुत रोड शो, ये क्या बात है कि आज जो बनारस में इतना जो उत्साह नजर आ रहा है?
ये मोदी के विरोध में ये सब जनता उतर गई है इस बार, क्योंकि मोदी
के विरोध में क्यों? तो
प्रधानमंत्री हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने इतना झूठ बोलकर जनता से वोट लिया और बनारस में कुछ नहीं किया, इसलिए सारी जनता उनसे त्रस्त है।
आप इस राय से इत्तेफाक?
मैं बनारस बार एसोसिएशन का पूर्व महामंत्री रह चुका हूँ। मैं आज इसलिए हम लोग यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं कि चूंकि मोदी जी को बड़े उत्साह के साथ बनारस की जनता ने चुना, यहाँ का सांसद बनाया। हम लोग किसी पार्टी बेस पे नहीं है, चूंकि बनारस का उत्थान नहीं हुआ, बनारस में कोई प्रोग्रेस नहीं हुआ, गलियां सड़कें तो चलने लायक नहीं है, कुछ भी यहाँ मतलब इतना।
Avantika, you can see, despite the claims and counter claims, perhaps the truth lies somewhere else. We don't know. We'll only know when the ballots open on March 11th. But for now, a riot of color. Just see these scenes here.
Yes.
I'm sure similar scenes are playing out where Mr. Modi's yatra is happening.
Absolutely.
And this yatra has not even begun.
My only small reservation, you know, and I'm, you know, this is to spark of a debate even as these pictures play out, is the fact is that election commission rules are that 48 hours before a particular round of an election, campaigning has to end. What are we seeing? Campaigning going on by both sides. Mr. Modi and the Samajwadi Party on television, even as voting is going on in another part. So if technology and television and WhatsApp has changed the rules of the game where you can campaign till the last moment, Election Commission should change the rules, allow campaigning till the very end. Otherwise, you are creating a situation with whoever has money power, whoever has better organizational power is able to use television and technology till the very end. So Avantika, what we are seeing at the moment is clearly both sides recognizing the importance of television, technology,
Absolutely.
and realizing that there are people who are voting in neighboring areas who may be, we don't know whether they are, who may be influenced by what they see. It's also about, of course, creating a sense of momentum in your cadres. I think, you've had the Prime Minister making various promises in Varanasi, some of which he's attempted to fulfill, some of which are very difficult to fulfill in 2.5 years, but knows that he needs to establish that connect. Look, Mr. Modi is an extremely popular leader today in UP, in Varanasi, across eastern UP. He chose Varanasi as a constituency for 2014 because he realized if he contested there rather than just in Gujarat, he could build himself as a national leader and also attract voters in eastern UP. And I think that's the reason why he's investing so much even now. He realizes that this phase and the phase that comes on the 8th of March are the two phases which will determine whether the BJP is in a position to actually cross 200 and maybe be the largest party or the majority party for the first time since the early 90s, or whether it will stop short. So he's got a lot at stake. And the Congress and SP on the other hand probably realizes that there is a certain vulnerability. Many promises made by the Prime Minister in 2014 have not been fulfilled. There's a sense that the Narendra Modi magic is not quite what it was in 2014, so they want to capitalize on it. So I would say both sides are realizing that this is the Kurukshetra, the final act of this Mahabharat which is being fought. And I think that's why you are going to have both sides putting everything. You're seeing Mr. Modi's rally, but in a moment when you see Rahul and Akhilesh's rally, particularly the Samajwadi Party, the Samajwadi Party, Avantika, has a strong organization unlike the Congress. They are also likely to pull out all stops. They are now alleging that the Prime Minister didn't even have permission for this road show. But I find that strange that the UP police is under Akhilesh. So why did they give the Prime Minister permission? So that's politics. I think what they are worried about is the Prime Minister's rally was supposed to end around 12:30.
Right.
And they would start only after that. Now their worry is if the Prime Minister's rally stretches, when will we start our rally? So this is the kind of politics that will take place. And the only final point I want to make is, having been in Banaras a few days ago, one of the most difficult things in Banaras is the traffic. And there you can see the Prime Minister is able to actually move smoothly because there is no other traffic allowed on the roads of Banaras. 31% of the population lives in 7% of the land area. And I just wonder sometimes, can these road shows ever really change life for people in Banaras? Will the roads get better? Will it really become more swachh? What will, will the Ganga get cleaner? That's really the test of the Prime Minister. These rallies and road shows are nice for creating environment for both sides.
But then what happens?
UP ke ladke versus the Vikas Purush. But I don't know what will happen come tomorrow. Come tomorrow, you travel through Banaras, even on a Sunday, it will take you 1 hour to cover 5 kilometers. That's the tragedy in a sense of this ancient city.
But that's not stopping at least the BJP workers to come out in such large numbers. I'm going to go straight across to India Today's Brijesh Pandey. Brijesh, I'm hearing that the Prime Minister has reached the Kashi Vishwanath temple amid loud chants of Har Har Modi. Just take me through the scenes that you're seeing around you.
Well, I think that there's extremely enthusiastic cadres which have greeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and they are very hopeful, and that his presence, his road show, would bolster the chance of BJP in Varanasi, not only in Varanasi regions but the regions surrounding it, because they feel that that it is an extremely important challenge for them to win all assembly seats as far as Prime Minister's Lok Sabha seat is concerned, because a loss here would send a very wrong message irrespective of what you win. It would indicate waning of popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and given the kind of the times we live in, the BJP will definitely want that to happen.
Right.
And this is the reason why you have that whole of cabinet literally camping here for the last 10-15 days. All the ministers are flying in, flying out, holding road shows, rallies. Top BJP organizational guys have been roped in to make sure. And the best part is that the Prime Minister, apart from holding this road show, is hosting 3 rallies back to back, which clearly shows that the BJP wants to go for the juggernaut, and for them there is no better leader than Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which the cadre feel is the only popular leader which they have.
Okay, let me go straight across to Maushmi also. Maushmi, while we've been speaking about the Prime Minister, the Samajwadi Party patron Mulayam Singh Yadav has been sulking all this while. He's been brooding post that very ugly family feud. Has that had an impact on the voter turnout, at least till now, till 1:15? How has the voter turnout been in his constituency in Azamgarh? And especially, you have been speaking to a lot of women who are coming in burqas. Have they been upset with the BJP writing to the Election Commission that women constables should actually be checking women voters in burqas to check for bogus voting?
You know, Avantika, I'm glad you asked both those questions, but before that, I'd like to bring in a point. I could hear there was a lot of noise where Javed was, and if that noise is something to notice, then Akhilesh and Modi, Narendra Modi, both would be hoping that that sloganeering and that noise reaches Azamgarh, Balia, Devariya. Banaras has certainly stolen the show. It is the place where all the action is, and we are at a place where all the action was supposed to be. It is certainly a voters' day, not a Neta's day, and the voters have actually come out in large numbers. 35% is the polling. The last time we checked with the Election Commission, 35% is a pretty good number till 1 o'clock. So Avantika, that means that there should be a bumper voting as far as the sixth phase is concerned. But my camera person, I would request him to pan and show. We are on a lunch break here. It's a polling station in Sajanpur in the Sanjarpur in the district of Azamgarh, and we are on a lunch break. Even though Banaras is seeing hectic action, Muslim women voters are seated on a charpai waiting for their turn. आप अपने इंतजार कर रहे हैं अपने मौका का. ये बताइए कि बीजेपी ने जिस तरह से कहा कि बुर्का में जो महिलाएं जाएं उनकी चेकिंग होनी चाहिए, महिला पुलिसकर्मी होनी चाहिए, इस तरह से क्या आपको लगता है ये सही है या आपकी प्राइवेसी में दखल है?
हमको दखल लग रहा है
जी. अगर कोई अंदर आपसे चेकिंग करता है या महिला पुलिसकर्मी, आपको लगता है सही है या बुर्के में कोई इस तरह से नहीं?
बुर्के में इस तरह का नहीं करना चाहिए ना
जी. क्या कहना चाहेंगी खाला?
हम लोग सही वही कहेंगे ना
जी.
सिर्फ बुर्के में तो चेकिंग नहीं करनी चाहिए
जी.
हाँ जी का नहीं, अगर भरोसा नहीं है तो फिर कर ले.
मतलब आपको लगता है गलत बात है, इस तरह से चेकिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए?
नहीं. हाँ
जी. अभी लंच ब्रेक में कितनी देर से इंतजार कर रहे हैं आप लोग अपने मौके के लिए? कुछ ऑफ कोर्स दे आर लिटिल शाय. विल ट्राई एंड स्पीक टू द मेन अराउंड हियर. सर, जिस तरह से बात हो रही थी कि बुर्के में चेकिंग होनी चाहिए अंदर, जस्ट 1 सेकंड अवंतिका, बुर्के में चेकिंग होनी चाहिए, महिला पुलिसकर्मी बढ़ाने चाहिए, बीजेपी ने मांग की है, सही है?
गलत है, टोटल गलत है.
क्यों गलत लगता है?
हमारा ये धर्म है, पर्दे में होना चाहिए, इसलिए पर्दे के खिलाफ हम नहीं जाएंगे. ये तो पूरी दुनिया में चल रहा है जी. अगेंस्ट ism.
जी, तो आप सुन रहे हैं अवंतिका. यू कैन हियर हाउ पीपल हियर, देयर इज अ लॉट हु डू नॉट अग्री विद द फैक्ट दैट द बीजेपी हैज डिमांडेड दैट women in burqa should be checked, but the fact of the matter is that development issues are much more on the agenda for the women voters and other voters here.
Yes, absolutely, and we saw that shift in strategy, the campaign becoming highly polarized in the last few phases. Maushmi, just stay with me. We have to take a very short break. We are going to leave you with the visuals of this high voltage campaign that we are getting to see from Varanasi. Stay tuned. India Today will be right back.